Imagine being dropped into the wild with no weapons, no shelter, no food, just your body. No gym-trained muscles, no protein shakes, just raw survival. Now picture an ancient human standing beside you, barefoot, lean, sunburnt, and scarred by life in the wild. But when the lion charges, it's not you who survives. It's him. Because while modern humans scroll, sit, and soften, ancient bodies were forged in fire, famine, and fear. This isn't just about muscle. This is about what it truly meant to be strong before comfort weakened us. They didn't wake up to alarms. They woke up to hunger, to cold, or the distant howl of a predator. Every single day of an ancient human's life was a physical challenge. There were no rest days, no weekends, no comfy mattresses to roll out of. Survival was the workout, and it started the moment they opened their eyes. The first task? Food. Not from a fridge, not from a store, no. Food had legs. It ran. It hid. It fought back. If you wanted to eat, you had to move, fast. That meant running, tracking, throwing, climbing, and sometimes killing. Now imagine doing all that barefoot without any training program or athletic gear. Their exercise wasn't 3 sets of 10. It was chasing a deer until it collapsed from exhaustion. It was scrambling up cliffs for honey, crawling through thick brush for roots, or dragging a carcass back to camp, using nothing but rope and raw grip strength. This wasn't fitness by choice. It was fitness by necessity, and the body responded. Their muscles didn't bulge like bodybuilders, but they were dense, functional, and ridiculously efficient. Their legs were built for distance. Their feet, wide, calloused, and perfectly adapted for uneven terrain. Their cores were like steel cables, not for aesthetics, but because balance and posture were the difference between life and death. One misstep meant a broken bone, and a broken bone meant starvation. Even children were tough. By the age of 7, they could walk 10 miles a day, barefoot. They could climb trees, throw stones, build shelter. There was no child-proofing the world. The world was sharp, and you learned quickly or didn't survive. This constant movement, day in and day out, created bodies that modern humans can barely comprehend. Not just strong, but adaptable, quick, resilient. No supplements, no gym memberships, just evolution doing its work sculpting strength through suffering. And the wild was just getting started. Now imagine facing the raw power of nature, every single day scorching heat, freezing nights, bone-soaking rain. Ancient humans didn't get to tap out. There were no jackets, no central heating, no weather apps warning them of incoming storms. They adapted or died, and this constant exposure hardened them in ways we've long forgotten. Their bodies weren't pampered, they were punished, skin like leather from sun and wind, eyes sharp from scanning horizons all day long, joints and tendons conditioned by climbing trees, crawling into caves, carrying water miles at a time. And let's not forget what they wore: animal skins, rough fibers, nothing form-fitted or breathable. Every task added resistance. Even staying warm was physical work, chopping wood, building fires, huddling tightly through the night. But the harshest pressure of all? Predators. These weren't casual threats. They were an everyday reality. Lions, hyenas, saber-toothed cats. When you left camp, you weren't just looking for food, you were making sure you weren't someone else's. That kind of stress changes your body. You move differently. You sleep light. Your reflexes stay sharp. Your senses stay alert. Their fight or flight wasn't theoretical. It was constant. Every sound in the bush meant something. Every shadow could be danger. Then came other humans, rival tribes, clashes over territory, water, hunting grounds. And when it came to conflict, there were no rules, no referees, no second chances. You had to be fast, precise, and brutal. Throwing spears, swinging clubs, dodging blows, it wasn't sport. It was war. And war, back then, demanded more than strength. It demanded grit, endurance, and a pain tolerance that bordered on inhuman. Even rest was different. You didn't sprawl out on soft pillows. You curled up on the dirt or against a rock. Your back didn't hurt because you sat too long. It hurt because you carried too much, moved too far, and survived another day. Their bodies weren't trained for beach season. They were sculpted to outrun death. This wasn't a life of luxury. It was a daily battle against the elements, against hunger, against extinction. And that crucible forged something we no longer carry. Now fast forward to today. We live in climate-controlled homes, sleep on memory foam, can complain if we have to park too far from the store. Our bodies once built for endurance, power, and adaptability are now breaking down from sitting too long. We've traded survival for convenience, but the cost? It's our strength. Most people today don't walk even 2,000 steps a day. We spend hours slouched over screens, with hips locked tight and spines curved forward. Our muscles weaken, our posture collapses, and our joints ache not from overuse, but from underuse. Gyms exist because our lives no longer demand movement. And even then, we isolate muscles, biceps here, quads there, as if the body was meant to work in pieces. The ancient body didn't train like that. It moved as a unit. Every motion had purpose. Squat to dig, lift to carry, twist to throw. There was no leg day. Every day was everything day. And yet, despite our advanced tech and modern knowledge, many of us are in worse shape than ever. Chronic pain, poor mobility, weak immune systems. It's not just a lack of exercise. It's a lack of exposure, a lack of hardship. We're too comfortable, too still, too protected. We've removed the friction from life, and with it, the stimulus that made us strong. Ancient strength wasn't about bulking up or hitting personal records. It was about resilience, efficiency, the ability to do hard things every single day without breaking down. Their bodies didn't quit because they couldn't quit. Ours? We tap out if the WIF's slow. But buried deep inside us, that same ancient engine still hums. The DNA hasn't changed. We've just forgotten how to use it. Our ancestors didn't have better bodies. They just used them better. They moved more, endured more, lived more physically than we can even imagine. So the question is, can we reclaim that strength? Can we choose discomfort, choose movement, choose to remember what our bodies were really made for? Or are we content to let modern comfort turn us into fragile versions of who we used to be? We often look back at our ancestors and think of them as primitive cave dwellers with no technology, no luxury, no progress. But maybe we've got it backward. Maybe they had something we've lost, a body that meant something, a body that could climb, run, fight, survive. Not because they trained it, but because life demanded it. Today, our survival doesn't depend on physical strength, but our quality of life still does. The aches, the fatigue, the anxiety, they're not just signs of age. They're signals, warnings from a body that's been still for too long. A body that remembers movement, remembers effort, remembers what it used to be. You don't need to go live in the forest or hunt wild animals to reconnect. But maybe, just maybe, you can start choosing challenge. Take the stairs, carry your groceries, get uncomfortable, reclaim that spark of ancient resilience buried in your bones. Because that strength, it's not extinct, it's just sleeping. And if this made you think even a little about the kind of body you are meant to have, hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started. There's a whole world of ancient survival, strength, and raw human potential waiting to be rediscovered.